Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE NXT on May the 11th, 2016. And the show started off with Finn Balor coming back out, and basically, cutting the typical promo that you'd think that you would want him to cut at this time, and that was mostly talking about Samoa Joe and his matches that he had, and making it look like he was like, I'm going to challenge him again for the title and everything on that aspect. But he gets interrupted by Elias Sampson, who starts singing a song to him, saying that he was going to devour his soul and everything like that. It was like to the point of everything here. Like Elias Sampson's heat inside of the Full Sail Arena was so huge during this time that you could barely hear him utter a word, even on the TV. So that just gives an indication there of how much the fans do not like him there. Not necessarily saying that's either in a good way or a bad way. It might be in the good way where he just gets a lot of heat for that factor, or they might just not like him, period, at all. We'll see how they deal with everything on that deal with everything on that aspect. He's playing a good heel character. I think he's growing on me a little bit. He just comes off as that character is like, you don't want to like this guy at all. There's no reason to like him. There's no reason to get behind him in any way. He's just one of those characters. It's like, yeah, you're a heel. You're definitely a heel, and there's no reason for us to even like you at this time. And that does set up for a match later in the night between Finn Balor and Elias Sampson. You know, and to get into the matches this week, let's see here. I think there were four matches. Yeah, American Alpha up against Hollins and Skyler, a basic tag team match here. Basic American Alpha stuff. They were to get them over. Uh, Pretty much mostly American Alpha, where with the exception of a slight comeback where after Gable gets in a little bit of trouble. So they're in their typical mode, like Gable gets in trouble, he gets the hot tag, and then they finish the match. Nothing spectacular there outside of the aspect of the Revival showing up towards the end of the match, to kind of distracting them, but doesn't cost them the match in any way. And looking like we're going to get our Revival versus American Alpha rematch at some point in the very near future. You also had Alexa Bliss up against Rachel Ellerly in there. Again, not much to this match. One thing I noted down. That's right, people. I'm taking notes now, just so so I don't really forget anything, or try not to forget anything. One thing I noted down is that Alexa showed a pretty good vicious side inside of here, and they did have the promo backstage with Austin Aries with Blake and Murphy in there, and Alexa was inside of there as well. And it was almost like Alexa's trying to show the way for Blake and Murphy and how they need to be. And they set up a match in there as well for a tag match with Blake and Murphy versus Austin Aries and a partner of his choosing for next week. So you had that in there. Also, you had Shinsuke Nakamura, who got a huge pop. Like, this is his first time inside a Full Sail, and that the pop that he got was huge. It was big, and of course he went up against Alex Riley. Not much of a match here. Very quick. Shinsuke Nakamura going over. And well, as we all know, Alex Riley's already been released from the company, so you weren't expecting too much from that match. And then, of course, you also had a promo from Bayley, where she was asked, like, so when are you going to ask Asuka for your rematch? And she's talking about how hard she's been training, everything like that, and then gets interrupted by Nia Jax, who basically challenges her to a match and says, what happened in London won't happen again. And of course, Bayley goes off on the aspect of saying, I choked you out once, I can do it again. And that sets up that match for the next week between the two of them. And this brings in the final match of the night, which was Finn Balor going up against Elias Sampson. It was set up earlier in the show. Again, a lot more of the Finn Balor going over in this case. Like, Elias Sampson had some offense in here, but overall, like, this match was kind of one-sided. It was more focused around the story at the end of the match, which in this case also you don't even see the coup de grace in this match at all. You see him do the that brainbuster type style maneuver, not a full brainbuster, but his variation suplex to finish off the match, and now they're calling it 1916, which was obviously named after the Irish, I believe, uprising, or kind of like an Irish Revolution in that sense. So it was named after that. I like that touch. It throws some history in there into the fact of his Ireland, his Irish heritage and everything like that. I like that aspect to it, and we'll see where they go. Oh, you can't really say where they're going to see. We'll see if that's going to be just his full-on new finisher, or if he's going to be bringing in the coup de grace at other points in time. So we'll see how everything goes on that aspect in the terms of his moveset. But after the match, Samoa Joe comes down after. After Finn Balor cuts a promo saying, he demands his title rematch and everything on that aspect, and it looks like the two of them are going to go at it, and William Regal comes down like in this fury of being completely utterly pissed off, like I'm not going to let this get out of control. It's like, because he's the one who makes the decisions around here, and of course he makes it for the June 8th takeover special. Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, and I love what Joe's doing. Like Joe and Balor are interacting with each other. You could hear them somewhat. Like you have Joe saying outside the ring, it's like he doesn't deserve the shot. He needs to be back of the line. You have Finn Balor in the ring go like, I am the line. It was a nice little interaction between the two of them to build up a little bit more tension, which obviously kind of crescendoed a little bit where Finn Balor dives outside the ring and taking out Joe to end the show. So overall, this show was not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, match quality-wise was not high up there. Most of these matches were very, very quick tonight. Nothing really to them in that sense. Kind of just building people over. It was more of the story building in there as well. I mean, you even had a promo from Nakamura right before the match. It's like discussing what had happened right before his match with Riley, discussing what Riley had said the week before. It's like, that it was going to be time for Riley to rage, and you had Shinsuke just like kind of just brush it off, like he was almost like, rage? I'll show him rage, and then everything on that aspect. So a lot of this stuff was built promo-wise and setting up matches for the next week to see. Obviously, with you have Bayley and Nia Jax, you have Austin Aries with a tag team partner of his choosing going up against Blake and Murphy in there. You even had them showing a little bit more with Eric Young coming in from the week before with the promo that he had cut. It's already aired on the YouTube channel, but now they aired it on NXT, where he cuts promo about coming into NXT and everything in that aspect. And it makes it feel like that Eric Young's more than just a one-off in this case, that he'll probably be coming back for more in the very near future. Maybe his other tapings, maybe he's already signed. Who knows in that case? We'll see if they go everywhere in that. And of course, they also started making matches for the TakeOver special on June 8th. And we'll see how they continue building upon that. And we'll see where they go with everything going into that NXT TakeOver special on June 8th. And like I said before, overall, good on the promo-wise, building up stories for the next week, and obviously continuing on with the Samoa Joe and Finn Balor storyline going into the next TakeOver. But match-wise, kind of more squash matches than anything else. But we'll see where they go with everything. And that is my review for WWE NXT. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.